But what that sound do now? Okay, had no sound. Nope, it's not you. It's Symphony. Oh, bitch, yes. Oh, I'm hearing sound. I'm hearing sound. We're rocking and rolling. Jackie, just really fast, can you just say something so we can verify sound on your end?
This is Corbin chiming in.
Yes. Streamlabs is a hoe. That is a whole fact. That is a whole truth. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Symphony, where Bridgett doesn't know what she's doing with technology and stopped caring like 3 years ago about it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us for another Symphony Lounge, where we are going to be breaking down the Exhume LARP experience, my very first Nordic LARP that I just attended in somebody's Pennsylvania. Hamburg, Pennsylvania in March. So if you're following me on social medias, you have either seen the dress that was like painted red, or you've heard me screaming or clamoring or talking about this experience. So like we do with a lot of Symphony Lounges, we bring the incredible people that made this product, this content, this experience available, which I have them here. And then sometimes I just bring on my own personal thirst trap so I can stare at them full time, which is Corbin. But Corbin also attended the event, and it's also the reason why I found out about Exhume. So we have a 2-time attendee, and then we have the actual creators of this experience on the call. So we're going to do one quick announcement, and then we're going to immediately hop into the content because, guys, the logistics and the execution of this experience were unlike anything that I've seen in the LARP community. And this was a vampire game, and y'all already know. Zoe, get out of your foot, please. Thank you. My French bulldog and her allergies. You guys already know how deeply embedded I am into the World of Darkness version of LARP, which this was not by any means. And we're going to talk about what it is. We're going to talk about how it is. And we're going to ignore World of Darkness because there's no comparing what I experience over there to what I experience here. So the only announcement I have, if you like this content and you would like to help me make more of it, please consider backing me at Symphony or patreon.com/Symphony Entertainment. It makes the content possible. It helps all these fees be possible. And it kind of helps keep us going through all the nonsense and the thirst that is Symphony. So with that being said, let us hop into introduction. So we are going to start out of the gate with Halden. Halden, baby, I need you to tell me your name, your pronouns, and your relationship to Exhume, and where people can find you if you actually want to be found.
Oh, do I want to be found? Hi, I am Halden Ingwersen, she, her, and I am one of the co-creators of Exhume, and I run a game company called Archetype Larps, and you can find us at archetypelarps.com or on any social media under that name.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then we're going to hop right over to Sam. Sam, hit us, baby. Name, pronouns, proximity to Exhume, and then where you want to be found if that's something you're interested in.
Hi, my name is Sam. My pronouns are they, them. I am the co-creator of Exhume. I also do a lot of kind of the back-end stuff with archetypes on social media and the website. You can find me, if you like, on my weirdly named Instagram, Expert Quality Lion. Don't ask.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes. And then last but totally not least, one of my many, many spouses, Corbin. You already know what we're doing, baby. Hit us.
Hello, my name is Corbin. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. If you want to hunt me down, you can go to www.confluxlarp.com. There you can find our Discord, and that's pretty much where I live in this space. Or you can hunt me down on Bridgett's Discord server, where I occasionally make an appearance.
Hey, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, gorgeous people, as I bump my mic, let's get into some of the drier details of the event. So I'm going to tee this over to Halden and Sam. Can you please hit us up with the title of the event, who it was hosted by, the overall theme, and then kind of like the when, where, how long it ran, the attended staffers, some of the more dry information before we start peeling back layers and actually diving in.
Halden, would you like to go?
Sure, no problem. Yeah, so the bone dry bits are that Exhume is a LARP about vampires. It is in the Nordic style, which we'll talk about in a bit, and it is a 1 weekend long LARP that we run when we can, and so far it is run twice in Pennsylvania, and it is hosted by Archetype, our game company, and yeah, gosh. Staff is
nine.
Nine.
So not including us. There's 7 staff who help facilitate.
Okay.
We had about 6 people on the back end who were part of the writing team. And then in terms of players for run 2. We had 35 players attend for a total of 44.
And the base ticket cost was $200, but we always offer sponsorship and subsidized ticket options.
Yeah.
Yep.
And again, I'm not going to make comparisons, but I'm going to say this especially because Corbin and I have done a few of these events. That's around the same price point that you would see for the Darkness Emergent LARPs that are being run by Night Studios. But we're going to get to the cost factor a little bit later down into the show notes. But I will tell you this much. I cannot tell you how many times I ran up on a member of staff and went, there's no fucking way we're getting all of this for $200. Really? Really? And somebody's like, yeah, it's just, 2026 and life, we're going to have to increase it. I was like, what you going to increase it to? What, 250? I still can't believe I'm getting all of this for that price point. So.
Oh, we need to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know who I was talking to, but I was damn sure in the kitchen. Like, what you gonna raise it to 250? That's still incredible. Yeah, was it you?
We were talking about like the food. I was like, food's getting really expensive. So like,
I don't know if we can keep doing this.
We're like, oh no.
Like, bruh, 250 for everything that I got? Absolutely insane. But guys, we're gonna get to that in a little bit. We're gonna get to that in a little bit more. But Halden teed this up perfectly, and I actually am kind of interested in teeing this one up over to Corbin, if you're open for it. We keep throwing around terms like Nordic LARP. This is my first Nordic LARP, blah, blah, blah. Babe, can you break us down, in your impression, in your opinion, what the difference is between a parlor LARP, a boffer LARP, and a Nordic LARP are, just so we have some definition framework?
There's definitely a group of people who are getting ready for Nuktpunkt in Europe who are like sensing a disturbance in the force. They're like, I think an American is about to define LARP type.
Yeah.
Let's make them mad, guys. That's what we came here to
luckily
do.
for you, I'm smitten with all the forms I've tried so far. So succinctly, a Nordic LARP is going to be a rules light to no rules. I hesitate to say no rules style of LARP form. This really means that if you're going to have a rule set in there, it's usually going to be for safety factors or perhaps world physics that are a little bit harder to explain.
Okay.
A parlor LARP is usually going to have a little bit more rules involved, but it really depends on the group that you're playing with. Some people will try their best to keep it as rules light as possible, but depending on the world physics, they may have more intensive or heavy rules. In the system that Bridgett and I collided with each other first, it is more rules heavy and it is a bit crunchy, but at the same time, it works perfectly for a lot of people who want to have those physics explained. So that's where it differs from Nordic, but there's definitely a lot of emphasis in theatrics and how people portray themselves. But you also have people that just, no, I want to be here to like, throw my rock, paper, scissors or roll my dice or throw my cards, whatever they're doing. And you know what? We're not going to yuck in anyone's yum. Like, it takes a village to make a community go. And then the final bit is Boffer LARP, which personally is one of my favorites. I happen to be one of those weird outdoor nerds that likes to go outside and hit people with sticks. I know this is something that Sam and Halden have also been very smitten with themselves. I'm certain there's some spaces that they could shout out there, but for me personally, in the space that I'm in, we use boffer weapons to enact a lot of our mechanics. It could be as simple as resolving a conflict, or it could be, oh, look, this bad guy over there is doing the thing. For a lot of those games, they tend to be what we call do-it games. So rather than rolling the dice to say, oh, I do this thing, no, you're actually going to be doing the thing yourself. We have had some of our staffers in Conflux LARP create complex moving wall mazes and have kept things flowing throughout an entire game. And this is all happening in front of you. This is not a theater of the mind where people are describing.
Oh, it's happening.
It is happening in front of you.
Wow. Okay. Corbin, thank you. Halden and Sam, before we go on, you guys in agreement, in conflict, or have anything else to add on those definitions? Because I know we all approach it differently. Some of us have our biases, some of us don't. But how do you guys feel about that definition for the framework?
I think one of the things that I would add for just the Nordic is just a lot of the emphasis on the kind of connections with the pre-established connections written in a lot of the characters, because that from what I've seen with the Nordics I've experienced that other people played, that's kind of like the baseline of having this you're already kind of set in the world, and you're not
Mm-hmm.
having to kind of do the back end, like connect with people or like making connections with your friends. It's like, no, here are your close connections. So you can kind of run with it, and you have a really good set parameters going into a Nordic game with that.
I plus one to that, and I also will throw out there. I'm trying to get a term to catch on, and that's American freeform, which is, I think, kind of a hybrid of a couple of these styles. And that is, whereas in Nordic, you tend to be getting these long character sheets with these intense connections and all of that. What I'm conceptualizing and using American freeform to describe is games where it is very rules light to no rules. It's just the base mechanics you need for safety. You do make your own character, but it is still a focus on high drama and high intensity emotionally. So kind of there, but technically we could be here all night just discussing different types of games. Like there's like a billion other terms for different kinds of LARPs that we're not even saying.
Festival, campaign. What do you want to go?
Like we could be here a while.
So are you inviting yourself back? Is that what we're doing? Is there going to be a part 2 where we break down the different classes of LARP?
You invited the vampires in. We're here now.
No, we can't leave.
We're in now, baby. We are in and we are locked in. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, guys, so that's kind of what we're working with here. And my experience with the 3 different types of LARPs mirrors pretty much what Corbin said. So I'm walking into this experience going, okay, I've never done a Nordic LARP before. I love my immersion. I love my buy-in. I'm here for the personal horror. I'm ready to face plant. But everyone is telling me that the Nordic LARP experience is a little bit higher than anything I've ever touched, which I love the challenge. I love reaching up. I love being challenged. That's a beautiful thing. But then I'm hearing from Tegan, hi, babe. That's in the chat right now that did run 1. I'm hearing from Corbin, and I'm hearing from my friend Alex is like, hey, what you haven't done is experience something like Exhume. And let me tell you all the ways why. 2 of the most reoccurring things I heard was 1, it was a life-changing event. And Sam and Halden, I don't say that lightly. I've heard that multiple times from people that Exhume is a life-changing event. And I've also heard multiple times from various people that if I could do Exhume once a year, I could kind of let some of my more problematic LARP experiences go.
I feel personally attacked by that because it was me. I'm one of the people that have said that, and I'll say it with my full chest. If I had a vampire experience like Exhume, guaranteed once a year, then I probably wouldn't need any other vampire experience like in my vicinity. And this is coming from somebody who loves that horror genre. Like, you guys put on an excellent show.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's really lovely to hear, honestly.
Yeah. That means so much. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Like, Tegan in the chat is one of them that was saying some of these things to me. And then, Corbin, I'm going to act like the other 2 individuals aren't here and you and I are going to talk. I said that shit to people when I got back, too. I did. Yeah. I was like, if I could get this once a year, I could let a lot of other of my LARPs go. So.
Oh, yeah. And it's not even just strictly the story of Exhume. It is how much care and effort goes into it. And let me tell you, I've done both of these runs now, and they felt like completely different games. So it doesn't have to be the same story for me each time. For me, it's just the high octane level bullshit that we bring forward as characters, the level of buy-in, the collaboration, just that is what I need more of in my life. And so far, I've only really found that vampire experience in Archetype. And truth be told, I'm looking to the other organizations and the other American freeform games out there. You need to step it up.
You need to step it up. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get where they are, because holy hell.
Oh, God.
Well said, Corbin. Well said. Well said. Well said.
Oh, my God.
All right. Let's talk about why. Because we're not just saying this because it's really nice to say cool things to Halden and Sam, even though it is, because they're both incredible individuals. But let's talk about why. Out the gate, let's address the application process. And hard stop, application process. There's an actual application process here. Hard stop, that's already different than I've seen in a lot of my parlor LARPs, Darkness Emergent, One World by Night. There's an application process. So, guys, when did applications actually open up? Was that January, December?
God, if I'm remembering correctly, it was January.
I feel January feels warm and fuzzy to me, too. Yeah. So applications open up in January, and because that's where my visibility stops, creators and showrunners, what the hell happens after we submit this application, which is very thorough, has some really intimate questions about who you are, the play experience you're looking for, what you're looking to get, whether or not you identify with a certain marginalized community, whether it's your first time doing a LARP. All of this stuff is in the application process. So you submit a pretty beautiful portrait of yourself walking into the door. And then, like, what happens on the back end, guys?
Well, in the back end, we read every single one of them before we do the actual orders. No, I love seeing a new app come in, and I'm just kind of like,
so exciting.
Like, it's very exciting. But a little bit, I'll kind of go on a little ramble for a minute. So we changed a little bit how we did run one to run two in the application process.
Yeah. We introduced some new stuff for this time.
Yeah, so and the big thing being like the lottery system. I personally, I'm not the best like writer when I'm talking about myself and what experiences I want, and the essay questions really kind of I get really kind of hung up on what to say for a lot of these other Nordic blockbuster games that have these essay questions, and I didn't want somebody just because maybe they weren't very good at expressing themselves with written word to feel like they were never going to get into something. And so like me and Halden were like, is this something that we think Exhume could handle? But with bringing a lot of people that aren't really known in the Nordic LARP scene, who've never done it before, introducing like the new to Nordic pool too.
Yeah.
Hey, if you never tried Nordic, come play.
And New to Nordic is it is a specific group that we're trying to introduce to a lot of archetype games where we feel that it's appropriate, but it's literally just you have a slightly different form you fill out if you indicate that this is your first time doing a Nordic game, and we had a reserved number of ticket spaces saved for people who were brand new to this and had never done this before, and they got pulled first in their own lottery before we added those people to the general pool and pulled again from there. And we're trying to do that at more games going forward.
Yeah. And then basically after kind of like, once we do the lottery, a lot of it is just kind of, we go through the details. Everybody gets sent a list of everybody who applied so they can flag any concerns. A lot of it is safety. Some of it is just like some social stuff, because this is a very broad community. There's a lot of social dynamics that we want to be able to navigate and make people feel comfortable that they still can come to this game. So we go through all those details. We go through who they flagged. We go through what preferences do they want. And it is a very, very big spreadsheet. And a lot of details that we go through. And some people, it's like, we're like, oh, I know exactly how this person should play. And other people are like, let's see if we can kind of like curate this a little bit more. So as we're polling, we're usually casting at the same time.
So we've got names on Post-it notes, and we've got character names on a big board, and we move it around and we see who might fit. This takes hours.
I can only imagine.
Yes. I think this one was about 6 hours for run 2.
Yeah. And we split it up this time because we learned our fucking lesson about doing it the first time when we gave ourselves migraines.
Yeah, and this was even with the lottery system. It still takes that long to go through and be like, who can fit where? And, if somebody doesn't fit quite and immediately a character doesn't stand out to us, we kind of put them to the side and we'll come back to them later. So it's a very long, arduous process.
It really is. And the application is long because we take all of it into account. So we do have these long essay questions, but we also have sections where it's just, we list all of the themes that we think are major character themes that we can sort the characters into. And we take it very seriously. And if you are filling out the app and you say, I cannot do this theme under any circumstances, and even if your app is perfect for that for a character other than that thing, we then have to decide, can we rewrite the character to not have that thing, or can this person just not play that role, even though they'd be an otherwise really good fit? Like we take preferences very seriously. And I will say to everybody listening in who might, fill out one of these apps, I beg of you, please do not just put I'll play anything or just pure neutral. It actually makes it incredibly challenging to figure out what you want. And sometimes you really are saying like, I'm up for anything, but it helps us so much if you can give us at least one hard no or hard yes, so we can get the impression of like, okay, they'll fit in this shape of role.
And they're not up for anything. Like, I know so many people who have said, "Oh yeah, I'm good with what." No, you're not, baby.
You're
You've
not.
got limits,
You
and
may
if you're
not
not
know.
talking. And
Yep.
I'm gonna quote some phenomenal intimacy coordinators I've met in the past. I can't trust your yes until I've heard your no. But that
Until
is
I've
something
heard
that we
your
will
no.
talk later on.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said. And quick shout out from the chat, just because we're discussing it, coming in from, it's probably La VN Rose. I have never felt so safe going into a whole game or a whole ham at game because of the application process. So massive credit to you guys for honestly starting the safety and the support at the point of application, which is huge. Now, the one thing I do want to take a moment, you're welcome, baby. The one thing I do want to take a moment is to talk about this flagging system, because I have never seen it before in my life. And I was all in Corbin's inbox, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? But before we get to the flagging system, really fast, Corbin, no, you're not up for everything. Stop saying that to yourself. Stop saying that to others. What did you sign up for from a preference wise on your application? Or because you got brought in from the wait list, did you even have that opportunity?
So I'm gonna be real. I tend to be one of those trash players that really is up for a large majority of things.
Yeah.
But I'm also very clear about where my limits and boundaries are. I think the first run that I did, I think I was actually told that I was a difficult to cast person because there were so many things that I was able and willing to do.
Yeah.
So for this one, I think the biggest change up that I had was I was willing to play a human this round because I saw all the crazy shit that the human players did last round. I was like, you know what? I want to go for that. I want to see what I can do. And I want to see how I can just kind of turn any role I get on its head because I don't know. I feel like I have this reputation as being like a total chaos gremlin, which, you know, yes, I can do that, but I can also do absolutely well behaved and like punch you in the face with feelings.
Nope. Well said. Well said. And thank you. For me on my end, guys, so I play in One World by Night, the World of Darkness LARP, and I play a prince character in that game. So 50% of my experience with One World by Night is community building. It's what I do. It's what I do for Chaosium. It's what I do in Symphony. It's what I now do in, in my local chronicle. And I also play a prince character that is very stoic, very analytical, and very just emotionally constipated. And that comes with a lot of responsibility. And of all of the gaming that I do, from podcasts to streams to everything I go, One World by Night is my one fuck off game. It's my one recreational game. It's the one place I go to play, so I don't wind up resenting the hobby because I am either monetizing it or surviving on it, 90% of the other time. So One World by Night, my prince character, that entire game is my one play game. So when I saw the application, and I picked up on this very quickly, and I was talking to Corbin about it, where it was directly like, no, what type of play experience do you want? I was like, just give me a character sheet and I'll figure it out. And I was like, wait, nah, fuck that. I'm paying $200 and I'm driving 6 hours for this shit. What type of play experience do I want?
Yes. Yes.
And what came to me clear as day when I sat with it, when I tried to figure out how I feel, it's like, I don't want to be a vampire. I don't want to be the sadistic vampire. I don't want to be the controller. I don't want to be in leadership. I just want to serve. I want to serve. I want to submit, and I want to hang out in subspace for a weekend. Can I do that?
Be a little guy.
That's all I want. That's all. I just want a yes, daddy, and move on about my day. And then suddenly they bring me back this sheet. That's what's like, they saw me.
You filled out the app perfectly because if that's what you wanted, boy, do we have some characters for that. And you did it gorgeous, Kriya.
Halden and I were kind of like, okay, Bridgett, yay, Bridgett got pulled. So we heard about you from Corbin and a couple of other folks who were in the first run, and we were kind of like reading, and we were like, oh, Kriya, like immediately. It was immediately like, oh, immediately,
Kriya.
Like, that's all I want. I just want a yes, daddy, and I want to submit. I want to hang out in subspace for a weekend and not actually work. And I got that character sheet. I was like, oh, I feel so seen by a group of people that I have never met. This is some beautiful, beautiful shit. Okay, so thank you so much for that one, Corbin. And guys, that's my experience on kind of what I walked into. But to my point, and to Halden's very important point, if you are filling out an application for like one of their upcoming LARPs, honestly, lean into the experience that you want because they're trying to accommodate you. So give them the ingredients that they need so they can fucking bake your cake for you. You'll have a better experience. So advocate for yourself and actually swing and go like, you know what I want? I want a blah, blah, blah. And much like happened with me, they can be like, say less, babe. We got you. Okay, guys, let's talk about the fucking flagging system because I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Yes.
Yeah, we feel very strongly about our flags.
Oh my God. So I'm sitting down. I think it was like a weekend morning, I almost believe. But I remember sitting down and I get an email and it has a list of all the participants that are in the game with a flagging system that I have to fill out and send back going, yes, no, maybe. That is a gross misinterpretation. I'm going to let the actual experts come back and clean it up on how do you feel about these players in your game experience. And I went, I have questions. I want to see where they're going with this. I want to see why they're doing this. I want to understand how this can be abused negatively. And I want to know why I feel so supported in this moment that someone gave enough of a damn about me to say like, hey, Corbin's going to be at this event. You cool with that? Damn. You care? Talk me through it. The fucking flagging system. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I will give a caveat. Flagging is kind of a controversial topic.
Yes.
In this community. And it's still something that I think a lot of people need to be very respectful of and understand that it can be abused.
Yes.
And it does sometimes get abused.
Does.
So,
yeah. And I think +1 to that, and, you know, it is an imperfect system. We are all, every part of LARP is an imperfect system. There are ways for every mechanic, every tool, all of it to go wrong.
Yep.
And we're all just kind of out here figuring this out together. And the day someone comes up with flagging 2.0, with the fix, with the way to make this happen, I will be the first one in line to try it because it is very imperfect and it can be abused. And those are important things to note. But I think it has enough value that it's worth using and keeping even as an imperfect tool. The way that we do flagging is you have green flag is, I think this person would add to the game. I think this person is great. If we can cast green flags near each other, that's a bonus. That's a cherry on top. It's never a guarantee. Yellow flag is, for personal reasons, I don't want a close connection. I'm cool if they're at this game, but I don't want to be up in their face. And there's a million reasons you could put a yellow. A couple of our team members at Archetype are a married couple who prefer not to play in relationship to each other with their characters. And so they have been known to yellow flag each other to represent that and to give that detail. It doesn't mean you hate the person. It doesn't mean you don't want to do anything. It could mean, I just play with this guy all the time and I want to change it up. But yellow is, this person is no danger to the game. I just don't want a close connection. Orange is, for personal reasons, this person is not a danger to this game or this community. I cannot be there if they are there. And using orange, I think, saves us a lot of red flags, if that makes sense. It allows people to have the wiggle room to say, hey, this isn't a danger, this isn't a terrible human being, but maybe you just had a bad breakup with them, or you know, you have a personal issue that goes beyond this space, and it's just, hey, even if we don't have close connections, them being there is going to ruin my time. It's me or them. And then red flag is, nope, stop. There's a danger to the community. There is something you need to know about this person. This person should not be at this game, period, whether or not I'm there. And that is important to include. And we do usually follow up if someone has given a red flag. But we do say you never have to tell us. You don't have to get into it. But we do usually follow up if someone has red flagged without additional details.
Which, thank you for the forward-facing in transparency. It's not a perfect system. But damn it, we're going to use it until somebody inspires to create something better. It's better than not using it.
Exactly. And the thing about flagging is that, you know, we do have a caveat that we cannot promise that everyone's flags will always be fully supported. There are versions of casting where it's like these are directly counter to each other. Or, you know, you'll see patterns emerge sometimes where that's interesting who green flagged versus yellow who are red flagged in groups.
Look at Corbin's face like, yep.
And it can give you a lot of important information that helps you create a healthier game community and a healthier run of a game. So
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, because depending on how you're looking at those, you can actually start following patterns, or the flags will start painting you a narrative. Yep. Corbin, I can already see you got value to add. Hit me.
There's actually a fantastic article that was written some time ago. I want to say it's called I want to say Flagging is Flawed. And there was another follow-up to that. I want to say it was a German publisher that talked about the raw statistics of what they were seeing.
I saw that.
Yeah, and some of what they were talking about was not what I was expecting. I was expecting, man, I just have beef with Sam and I want everyone to have beef with Sam. No, it was, I don't actually understand the difference between yellow, orange, and red. So I'm going to mark accordingly because I don't want to mess this up. So when they're talking about flagging is flawed, it's not strictly in interpersonal spaces. It also boils down to user error, which, let's face it, I mean, that's such a huge part of life. That's why I appreciate what Archetype has done, which is like making it very explicit and very clear. This is what this thing means. And I still think there is the potential for some flawed reactions from users in that, not something that Archetype can control. I can absolutely see somebody going, well, you know, I don't want anyone to see Bridgett in a poor way, even though I do feel unsafe around her. So you know what? I'm just going to mark her as a yellow flag and hope everything works out. But then I'm doing a disservice to the community, because if this is a dangerous player, the game should know about it. Whereas people who go in the extreme opposite of, you know what, Bridgett spelled my name wrong this one time and I've never forgiven her for it, and I want to make sure everyone hates her too. And then they go to the extreme opposite of that. And it's a shame, but you know, every type of hobby gets these types of personalities, and it simply is what it is. That is a TED Talk for another time and place. But succinctly, flagging is flawed. Part of it is user error, and sometimes the game runners, y'all just have to make your best educated guess in things. Even if it means that somebody is getting a no. I love the fact that you're taking that effort to make sure that you're keeping people safe, because that person you're saying no to, you could also be protecting them from having a bad experience with a product that you've put your heart and soul in.
And
so I would rather I'd rather y'all say no to me if you feel like I might not have a safe experience with the people who are going.
I like that. And I also will throw out there, we include staff flagging, which I think is really important. Yeah, it's really important to make sure that like the dynamics are going to be healthy for everyone. And we, for the internal team, for the staff, we actually have a blue flag. And blue flag is expressing, hey, happy to have this person there, would rather not be responsible for them. And again, that can sound kind of bad, but it's usually used for, hey, I don't want to be in a weird like power dynamic with a loved one.
I didn't know that before, and I love that y'all did that. It tells me that you're taking everybody's safety into consideration. Just because we're giving you money doesn't mean that you need to sacrifice your safety.
Well, exactly. Yes, Corbin.
If you don't want to be the staff member who's responsible for your partner, that's so normal and valid. And like you shouldn't have to.
Wow. I'm with Corbin. I didn't know you guys were doing that internally too. That's some hot shit. It just consistency and fairness across the board. Beautifully, beautifully, beautifully done. Okay. Again, flagging is one of those controversial topics that I have learned since I started diving into it, and Corbin started helping with some of my education. I really want to do a whole future episode on that. Actually, Corbin, I think it might be in the boundaries, bleed, and blah, blah, blah thing. And if not, I'll add it in, and I'll invite one of you guys back to discuss it. So,
absolutely.
At this point,
so many opinions. I'm always happy to talk to you about them.
And listen, I love hanging out with you and being in your proximity, babe. So let's do the damn thing. So January opens. Someone sends me, or I see that the applications are open because I'm on the listserv. If you are not a member of the Archetype LARP listserv, go to the website and join it so you can get these notifications. The application isn't just like, hey, name, date of birth. It actually cares about my character preferences and my play experience, what I'm looking for from the event, my experience with LARPs, if I've ever done something. I send that away. I get a flagging system back where I'm just like, I don't know 40 of these people. I'm gonna do the best I
That's
can
normal.
with the
That's
with the
normal.
4 that I do know. And kind of right back there, I send that off. A lottery happens somewhere in the background, and then I get my acceptance. And it says, hey, Bridgett, congrats. You've been chosen. You are coming to Exhume. This is your fee structure. This is what you can expect. And here's a snapshot of your character sheet. Let us know if this works for you or not. And, if it's a green light, then we'll send you the full character sheet. Now, I'm going to move us just for time directly into the fact that you get the full character sheet. Corbin, how long was your character sheet in pages?
I want to say maybe 3 or 4.
3 or 4 pages? Okay.
Yeah.
I think Kroya may have been 4 or 5. Some people got 8, 9-page character sheets.
Oh yeah.
Some of the characters in Exhume have been alive for thousands of years.
thousands of
You
years.
guys both
There's
play
a lot to
humans.
cover.
The shorter.
Guys, some of these bitches were thick. Do I hear, listen to me. When I tell you thick and rounded out, we are talking about some robust character sheets. Now, before you sit back and go, did somebody really send me a 10-page character sheet? Yeah, they really did. But I'm going to tell you something that I think is tasteful and clever about the way these character sheets are written and delivered. You get a backstory, but it's scaffolding. You get to add in your own memories. You get to add in your own take, your own impression. It's not something that's so constrictive where you have to memorize all 9 pages of your backstory and enact it. 1, that's not feasible for most humans to do anyways. 2, it's a fucking 2-day LARP event. Your 10-page backstory is not going to all come into place. And 3, most importantly, because what they give you is scaffolding and not actually like a leash, you get to express your character however you want. There's so much wiggle room and space for you to jump in between the lines of these characters and honestly bring them to light in some of the most beautiful ways that I sat back and was just like, wow, this is impressive. Now, how do I know some people got 8 or 9 page character sheets? Because they were public facing to the entire game. Showrunners, please talk me through the logic on that one, because usually when you're playing vampire games or a lot of other LARP games, it's your precious. You can't share your secrets and no one can know the cool thing on your character sheet. And no. Y'all were like, nah, everyone can see everybody.
So on a funny little note, from the first run to the second run, I was still in that mindset of just like, no, people can't have access to all the secrets. So we set the secrets separately.
Oh, from
And,
round 1, it was
just
separate.
Big pain in the ass with more emails.
Yeah, so sorry, Halden. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so we had like all the character sheets in the first run public facing, but all the secrets were sent individually. And then I gave up on that idea. And I was like, this is foolish. What are we doing to ourselves? And put it.
We can trust people.
All of it. We can trust people.
Yeah, that's really
it.
all. That's all it comes down to is we believe we can trust you.
Yeah.
You've gone through this whole application process. You've gone through the flagging process. You have shown us that you are invested, that you care, that you've put thought into the character you want to play. You want to be here.
Yeah.
We trust you. And if we don't trust you, why the fuck would we let you in the game?
Oh, my whole soul. Whew.
So we have these public-facing character sheets so that everyone can read everybody else's, and it makes for a better game. It makes for a game where you can opt in to have, like, just because they are publicly available, most people don't read all of the characters.
Yeah.
Usually they'll read their sheet, they'll skim their close connections, and maybe look at another one if they're curious. But like, usually, unless you're a weirdo nerd, like some of us, you probably don't read all the sheets. But because it's also hundreds of pages. And sidebar, I did look it up real quick because I'm like, they weren't 3 to 4 pages. Catch's character sheet is 7 pages long, and Kriya's character sheet is 6 pages long.
I read really fast. I don't know what
I'm just like, now hang on a minute. No, nobody
like
got one.
3 pages.
I think the shortest sheet is 4. So like,
yeah, and I think it's one of the swing characters.
yeah, I think so. So jot that down first of all. But but the ability to trust each other and to say, oh shit, that's a theme in your sheet. That's a theme I really want to play on.
Yes.
That's really cool to me. I want to chase that role play. Or it allows you to set up big moments. So you can say, I actually don't want to read the secrets. The secrets are all white text, so you have to highlight to read them. And you can read everybody's sheet and then not know their secrets, or you can opt in and say, I definitely want to know what the fuck is wrong with this person. It just leads to better pre-game steering.
Yeah, and one of the players, I can't remember who, talked to me during cleanup, was like, "Oh, now I get to read all the secrets," because what she did is she read all the character sheets, not the secrets. She's like, "I'm going to reread them again and read all the
Yeah.
secrets because now that everything is done, I get to know what's happening."
Yeah.
Also, on a quick side chat, I want to just give a huge shout out to our writing team because it was over
Yes.
3,000 pages of content. No, not 3,000.
No, it
Yes,
definitely
no.
wasn't that much, but it was hundreds. It was hundreds
It
of
was
pages.
hundreds. Sorry, three. It was
Yeah.
like in the thousands for the word count. I can't remember the
Whew.
statistics, but like it was a lot. And from the first run to the second run, we did a lot of editing. So huge shout out to the
Heavily.
writing team
Yeah.
because they killed it.
Absolutely. And V, who played our ancient in this run, they took the
Oh.
lion's share of the writing. Like, I think they had a hand in every sheet somewhere, even if they didn't write the
Jesus.
whole thing. Like, V really needs flowers for the level of effort that they put in. So, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I really want to call y'all out here over an experience I had last year. You're going to know this very well, but it bears repeating for this stream. I had an experience with one of my sheets initially. It's like, man, I don't feel really good about this. The character feels kind of like a sex pest. And the person who was to be my scene partner was also like, yeah, I kind of don't get this either. We went to y'all, and not only did you validate those feelings, y'all worked with us to find
Yep.
a way to find that, like, that medium ground where it's like, yes, this character does have some obsessive energy towards this person, but you did so in a way that did not invalidate our experience as players. You made it feel safe. And we still found a way to do like a nice little callback to it during role play where it's like, oh, yeah, no, I was tempted to do this to you because of insert drama here.
Yeah.
And it was a nice little chuckle of, aha, good thing you didn't do that thing. But it was a way for us to honor the original story
Yeah.
Oh, that's
without
so nice to know.
feeling unsafe for ourselves. So that's just another thing I really want to call out about Archetype LARP, and also just a lot of the freeform LARPs that we see in this space right now, where they are listening to people. And Bridgett, this is something you and I have talked about privately before, where players want to feel safe out of play to
Yep.
make risky decisions
Yep.
in play. And this is
Absolutely.
what that looks like. It doesn't mean shielding your players from things. It doesn't mean
No.
protecting them from, like, hard realities. It means gearing them up to make the best, worst decisions possible.
Well said, Corbin. Yeah, and that's something that we've spoken about at length. And Halden, something you said, it was either you or Sam that said something about open facing those character sheets and the secrets does a lot for pre-game steering.
Yep.
And I've never heard that articulation before, but wow, does that feel authentic to everything that I experienced as a new player coming into this? Because I'm already walking in the door where someone gives a damn about my play experience. Y'all, that's not common in a lot of LARPs. Typically, you agree to go to a LARP, you're throwing some money at it, and it's a very selfish, I need to go and get mine mentality. And I'm not saying there's anything inherently wrong with that. It's a much different story coming in where the showrunner's like, no, we actually care about your play experience and we can match you with something that feels good to you. By the way, if you have issues with X, Y, and Z players, we hear you and we can do what we can to try to optimize your play experience. And then you sit down and suddenly you're looking at everyone's character sheet and no one is doing the my precious, you can't. It's like, oh, it immediately reprograms how you onboard into a LARP experience when everything is open faced to that degree. And I think that was I understand from a fuck them emails run one standpoint. Congratulations on graduating from that. But the way you two have articulated, like, no, trust people and also fuck them emails, that worked out beautifully for run two. Tegan is even in the chat right now that they're a big fan of those public facing secrets. So it did a lot for my play experience significantly. Now, something else I do want to hype on, and I want to praise V for this too. Once you are accepted, everyone gets invited to a Discord channel. And you guys have the Discord channel outline where like all humans are in one chat and then all of your veins are in a different chat. And guys, I'll put the book, because it's public facing, into the show notes. So if you're watching on YouTube,
Please.
just look at the core rule book, the show book below. But the vampires are broken into, versus like clans are broken into families or veins. Well, all the veins had their own channel too. And all of the veins, or all of the specialty types, whether you were human or vampire, had regular meetings. I think from the point that I got approved sometime in January to when the game started in March, I was invited to maybe 4 or 5 different Zoom meetings where you got on with either the head storyteller of your particular vein or somebody that was filling in or someone that was aware. You got put on with a facilitator and you got to actually meet the other people that were in your direct proximity, whether your character had a direct tie to them at all. And that did a lot for me for onboarding and comfort, and also going like, oh, okay, I understand. I can lean into this. Another thing I think, and V did this in particular, brilliant. They constantly led with, what is your impression of the vein? I'm sorry. I'm used to picking up a vampire book and going like, bitch, you're a Ventru. This is how you feel about your clan. Or, ho, you are a gargoyle and this is how you rock out with this. Or you're a paladin and this is how you like. It's dictated. Thank you, baby. It's dictated to me, and then I run with it. This was very like, we gave you the description on wheat, but what is your impression of this vein?
Tell us your version of this story.
Yep. We really don't like giving. These character sheets are very long, but and all of the supporting information, like we send documents about each vein and all of that stuff. We can tell you the facts. We cannot tell you how to feel, and we don't want to try to.
Jesus.
And your job is to take this sheet and to say, all right, what kind of person lived this life? This life produced who? Yeah. This vein, it has these elements to it. Well, how does my character interact with that? It's I think telling people what personality their character is supposed to have is a fun acting challenge, but there's already so much going into this that I think that it's a lot more fun for me and seems to be more fun for other people to get to make that choice on their own.
Yeah.
Hard agreed across the board. Remember when I told you guys they give you scaffolding and then you fucking build it yourself? This is the shit that I'm talking about, that one. Okay, amazing. So guys, that is just, hey, I want to play the LARP. We haven't even gotten to the good shit, which is what the fuck happened for those 2-3 days where we were in a cabin in the middle of the woods, sleeping on bunk beds together. So we're going to jump into that. And just to give Cast a moment to get some water and kind of breathe, I am going to give us a quick interlude. We're not going on a symphony break. I'm just going to allegedly try to post some pictures so you guys can kind of see the setup and kind of the venue. So allegedly this shouldn't freeze. So this is at a Boys and Girls Club cabin space.
Camp Olivet.
Camp Olivet, Blue Mountain in Hamburg, Pennsylvania.
There we go. Which is this beautiful rural area. It's up in the mountains. It's got this cute little lake out in front. You're looking at pictures right now. And guys, what do you think the occupancy of that cabin is?
Oh, geez.
Oh God, I should have it. It is in the 50s.
Somewhere in the 50s.
In the 50s. Yeah, is the max capacity. I think it's like 56 or 55. I can't remember.
And we love that campsite. That is part of why, a lot of the things we go over on the ground is how to take care of it and how to be like kind to the site, because we want to keep using it. We love working with them, and they host LARPs, and it's a really good, we're not the only LARP that plays there, and that is lucky and that is rare, and we need to cherish places that are willing to let us weirdos run around in costumes.
Protect it at all costs.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Protect it at all costs. One of the big things is, because we are the weirdos, and especially in a lot of our cosplay or our kits or whatever, there's a lot of venues that just won't work for us, whether they have religious issues, whether they have visibility or optics issues. So when you find people that are willing to work with our brand of creativity, it's really a blessing to find. Now, one thing I was talking to my friend Peter about this particular site is, there are some LARPs that I go to that are run out of a hotel where there's shared occupancy with, I'm just going to say, the normals, the regular attendees, and then us. And, we look at them funny, they look at us funny, and the world kind of moves along, and it's fine. But when you're dealing with the intensity level of the content that we do in Exhume, you really do need to be excluded. Because it's never going to be okay to be screaming your head off because you're in the middle of, we'll insert what you were in the middle of here in a minute, at 4 o'clock in the morning at Days Inn at Richfield. It's just, that ain't your moment, honey. It's just not your moment.
Days Inn isn't going to let you set up a torture room.
They're just not, no. They're not going to let you put the tarp on the floor and bring out the blood and say, go get it. They just not. They just protect sites like this at all costs. Okay, assuming this video doesn't crash the screen, I'm going to show you guys the setup that was in the main room. Now, this isn't the finalized setup. This was Bridgett walking in going, holy shit, and being allowed to take a quick video. So I'll let you guys see this really fast.
I'm getting ready for water.
Yeah, this is a great time to duck out. Sam, it's just us, baby. It's just us.
It's just us looking at my beautiful work. I already plan to make this bigger next time, so.
Yes! That room was absolutely stunning. And then this one, guys, is just kind of like the sleeping arrangement, so you can kind of see how it was
Okay,
set up
guys,
with
just
that.
kind of like a quick vibe on how the sleeping arrangements are set up. There are several rooms, as such, that have beds. Depending on your medical needs, depending on your sleep preferences, they will find ways to accommodate you, which is pretty cool. So let me keep showing you this.
Amazing. Okay, so we are going to continue to get this party started. Let's get into the actual meat of the experience. And we're just going to keep the ball moving. Corbin is going to join us whenever they get back, and we'll rock out from there. So we've gone onboarding. We have arrived at site. We've chosen our bunk beds. We've got our sleeping bags. But it's still not time to play because you guys prioritize safety, consent, and setting a uniform expectation before we ever actually hit the play field, which is going to be the workshops immediately. I'm going to get the fuck out of y'all's way and let y'all cook. And just know one of the beautiful people that assisted with this workshop is Pippa. If you haven't heard our interview on the Miskatonic University podcast, I will put that in the show notes in the description below. And I have already scheduled Pippa to come back onto this platform and discuss that workshop in a little bit more detail. So y'all about to get more of that beautiful individual very soon. But let me get the fuck out of your way and let you guys articulate what those workshops are, why you're so intentional about doing them, and what they did for the play experience before we even launched.
I'm gonna throw in a lot like flagging. Workshops can be controversial. There can be a divide in how people like to use them. Some people like workshops that are much more about getting in character and moving your body around as your character and getting in that way. Others, want just the facts. Give me the mechanics one more time. Let me get in there. So it really differs. For us, what we wanted to do with Exhume, we tried to keep it to, first of all, we had a wildly high ratio of new to Nordic.
Yes.
We a side effect.
45% of players are new to Nordic.
Holy hell, guys. Wow.
We thought that the new to Nordic thing would make a couple people feel more comfortable applying. We were not prepared for the volume of people who were like, this is my first time doing this. And so we tried to tailor the workshops to that, making sure to go over all of the actual safety tools. I won't get too deep into the intimacy and stunt stuff just because, you're going to have other spaces to get into that in more detail. But we did hire a professional intimacy coordinator to come on and assist us with that. And she's fantastic. Yeah. But we also really wanted to make sure that the workshops were something that could get you moving. And I think that the funniest, like to start your character off. And I think the funniest part is that we opened with a bit of a spiel about, hey, we're going hard. Like, this is meant to go hard. Like, you signed up for hard content. You signed up for a game that is very emotionally intense. We're going there. Don't hold back. Yeah. And you could see people get really rigid and get really nervous and get really anxious about that. And then we actually gave them the tools. We gave them the intimacy coordination. We gave them the mechanics that we use for violence, for sex, and for sexual violence, and those are 3 different sets of mechanics. And we made sure to go over all of that with them. And as soon as people were doing it, once they were moving, once they were trying it, you watch the whole room just relax and get really into it. And
it really kind of became, so some of the more, the power dynamics between how old a vampire is very important to the gameplay. And the one thing that I love that Halden does in there is the everybody where we call everybody and their age, and we have them line up from oldest to youngest, and then we go through and say, if you're part of wheat, raise your hand. If you're part of this vein, raise your hand. So you're seeing how the power dynamic is spread across. So it gives people kind of good visuals. And kind of you get to put faces to the names, and you're just oh god, okay, so if I go up against Cup, I'm kind of screwed because they're so condensed in their age group. So it really, there's all these little things that yes, you have the concept of this stuff that we've been giving you in the emails and the rule book and on the Discord and the chats, but now you're visually seeing some of these concepts being enacted out, which really I think is a more engaging way to kind of familiarize people with.
Yep.
So yeah.
Corbin, it's just your constant value. Do you have anything to add on about the workshops? Because you primed me for the workshops, and I still wasn't ready for what I walked into.
Part of me feels like, oh no, I did Bridgett a disservice, but at the same time, those workshops are something that you have to experience in order to get the best appreciation for them. Something that we did in Georgia at our LARP, Conflux LARP, we actually hired Pippa Walton to come down and do some of the same exercises that she did for Archetype, because me and my visual design, we both agreed from our experience at Archetype, this is something that can enhance the overall experience for all LARPers, not just freeform. And this is also my shameless plug of hire Pippa Walton. She will enhance your experience. You can still come to an Archetype LARP game to just experience her in general. But seriously, if you really want to work with your game to kind of help amp up those connections, you can be a parlor LARP, you can be a boffer LARP, you can be a freeform LARP. Pippa will find a way to work with you, work within your budget, and also find a way to just make it work for your system and what you're doing. For us, we really wanted people to be more conscious and mindful about just consent overall, because consent and boundary is not talked about enough in any game space. It doesn't matter if it's freeform, parlor, or boffer. I have, again, so many strong opinions on that, but I will save that for another day. But yeah, no, like that's just my 2 cents on archetypes workshops. It is not something I had experienced in the LARPs that I came into more heavily before Archetype, and it's game changing. No pun intended.
Yeah. And I will also say, I don't know if I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, we were the first to have intimacy coordinators come to our game. But I had not heard of it before we started working with Pippa. And I am now starting to hear of other games saying, yes, we have hired an intimacy coordinator. We've invited someone in, like, beyond people who've been to Archetype or know Pippa or any of that. Like, I'm hearing this from other corners of the LARPosphere, and I'm so happy, because I really do think this is a way to make games safer and more engaging. And people want to go there. That is the thing that we always find. It's the number one thing that you hear after any LARP. It's, I wish I'd gone harder. I wish I'd tried this. I wish I'd pushed myself more. People want to go there. They just need to know that they'll be safe when they get there.
Correct.
And all of the workshops are all about, hey, let's orient you in this world. Yep. And let's give you the tools. Here is this giant toolbox full of a bunch of different tools. You don't have to use them. Not everything is a hammer job. But God damn it, when you have a nail, you're gonna be so glad that you know how to use that hammer.
That you know how to use it. Yeah, no, beautiful articulation. It's one of the things that had me most in awe, this and the recalibration, we're going to get to that later, about the entire experience is, one, setting the temperature of the entire event. So everyone is already telling me it's going to be life-changing and you're going to go so hard, and it's just like, all right, cool, yeah. What does that actually mean, though? I need to understand what that means in application. That was one of the most common questions we got in our Zoom calls, too. It was like, well, what do you mean going hard? Like, I want to cover some dark content, but what does that look like? Well, when you sit down in a workshop and the temperature is set across the board for everyone, you're just like, okay, so this isn't a game where I'm sitting down here trying to break the rules. You don't care about my fireball. You guys have a rule that power bottoming is law, so whatever the fuck you're trying to get off, your bottom is the one actually making the final decision on it, which immediately recalibrates your entire play experience, because it's no longer a PvP situation. It's it's us gets us. How are we going to make this a memorable moment? Not me getting over you because I've got this cool influence trait or this cool mechanic on my sheet or blah, blah, blah. Like, even to the point with the power bottoming is law. If someone tried to kill your character, you get to sit back and go like, nah. Or you get to sit back and go like, all right, tell me more. How are we doing this?
Yeah, absolutely. No, that is unilateral across everything we've run so far. And it may not always be the case. Mechanics need to change for the game to support the game, the story you want to tell. But being able to say, hey, death is your choice.
Yes,
No one
yes.
is going to do that to you. No one is going to take your game from you.
Nope.
You decide what story you want to tell.
Yeah.
We both killed off our characters.
Y'all real bad did.
From run 1 to run 2, we played the same character. I played Sam's character from the first game at the second game, and we both killed her, and we were like, that rocked. That was great.
I think that's just canon now for Jessie.
I
It's
think
just
Jessie's
whichever
doomed.
one of us
Jessie.
yeah, she's just doomed.
Poor Jessie. But yeah, and I also oh shoot, I had another important thought about the workshop. We've been told, people have told us, people who came to the game and got over this fear, and people who are like, I want to play your games, but I can't because.
Yeah.
It's been the content sometimes, and it's been the existence of the mechanics.
Yeah.
And the content warnings are real. Anything on that can show up at the games. And we try to cast a really wide net. It doesn't mean that you have to engage with that a given theme, like you are never forced to. You can avoid it if you need to, but that is content that could be at present, and you need to be prepared for that.
Yep.
But people have gotten scared off by the existence of some of our mechanics. So
Just
we
the
have,
existence, yeah.
just knowing that they're things. So we have, I mentioned earlier, we have sex violence and sexual violence, and those are 3 different things. Just because there is a sexual violence mechanic does not mean that you are going to be engaging in an assault or a harassment scene. Like that, it's a fishbowl of condoms in the student center is what those mechanics are.
Yes.
You do not have to take that. You don't have to use one, even if you take it. But God damn it, kids, if you're going to be doing it, I'd much rather you use one.
Make sure you're
do it
using one.
safely.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yes.
that is just there so you can, if you choose to tell that story, you have a way to do that safely.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it.
No.
And so I want people to understand that about the games is like this exists to help if you choose to go there. No one's going to make you go there. Promise.
It's
Promise.
invitation only. Yep.
No, I've run into spaces where people have had such bad experiences before they had any sort of consensual discussions or any workshops like that, where the mentality is, we're just closing this off forever. You can't even touch each other. You can't do this. You can't do that. And I see where that energy comes from.
For sure.
But in my biased opinion, having done like a variety of LARPs at this point in time, it doesn't make anybody safer. It actually makes it more dangerous, in my opinion, because you're not teaching people what it looks like. You're not teaching them what to look for. It's like, you know what? I don't have that feeling of safety with Halden, and I know what that looks like. So, you know what, Halden? No, thank you.
Yeah.
Or it's like, you know what? I've had a better experience with Halden. What can we lean into?
Right.
So I think leaning away from it as a concept entirely is a bad idea. But I do think putting out the fishbowl of condoms to use the imagery there. I think having it as a possibility and empowering your players to say no is so critical, because one of the life-changing experiences about this game is just empowering player agency across the board, whether that's your ability
preach,
to
Corbin.
lose your character, like, have a good death scene, or go off and kill somebody. Like the weirdest experience I've had with character death was talking to a player at a different game and saying, hey, we have an opportunity for a character death. I'm very comfortable if you decide you want to kill my character and look at this kind of a story. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah.
But the player did not receive that very well. And I think he was reading that as you're just trying to intimidate me. It's like, no, really.
No, I'm
like,
really
I
not.
think this is a good story to tell.
Yeah.
But I made my boundary clear of, if we're going to do this and you're going to take power away from my character, you need to show up at this game more often, because to me, that's like what's worth the sacrifice at the point. So it was like one of those weird moments where neither side had the language that you get in an Archetype LARP workshop to really be able to like negotiate and talk out those scenes. I mean, you don't only have to play with Archetype to get that experience. Again, hire Pippa Weldon.
Get you all a Pippa, honey. All of it. Get you some Pippa.
Any intimacy coordinator that is worth their salt, and this hobby is getting more of them every day. If they are worth their salt, they will give you the language you need to say, no, thank you, in an informed adult way.
Yep.
And not make the player feel shame for saying no.
Oh, Sam?
Exactly.
Because,
Yes.
Sam?
We want
So
that
it's
shame
just-
to be all in play, not out of play.
Exactly. You know, a lot of the experience I think a few of us, most of us here can attest to, and some of the people watching, is just the feeling shame for de-escalating or saying no in
Yeah.
a scene. You know, in our very long histories in LARPing in these communities. So letting players know that it is okay. Like,
Yeah.
you do not have to make yourself feel uncomfortable. You
Nope,
have
you damn sure don't.
the empowerment, and no one's going to get mad, and
Yeah.
you can just step away and it's all okay, and the story can continue
Yeah.
in a more healthy, collaborative way.
Yes, absolutely.
Woo.
Saying I don't want that scene is not saying I don't want this LARP.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all are on fucking fire right now. Yes.
Very quotable.
Yes. Yeah. Workshops were outstanding. And the one thing I do want to just slow down for a second and clarify, just in case it was missed in some of the high level philosophical value in the workshop itself. So I'll step back and just do a brief Bridgett. Bridgett is asexual, and I'm probably one of the sluttiest asexuals you know. I flirt with anything that walks. If you crawl, I'll probably flirt with you too. You don't even have to move, and I'll find a way to smack that ass or try to bite you. It is what I am. So I enjoy sex in my games. I enjoy smutting, and that was something I was excited to explore in Exhume, was the sexual aspect of this character, especially playing something so powerless as a human. So not only were the condoms put in a fishbowl in the center of the room and says, "You're welcome to them. If you're going to do it, have it safe." You've got Pippa as an intimacy coordinator. It's like, all right, cool. You trying to make out with somebody? Here are the mechanics. If you're interested in trying them out, stand up on your feet and we're going to go through them right now. Oh, okay. You're looking to have sex? Those who are interested in exploring this mechanics, stand up, go find you a sex partner, and this is how it's going to look. Oh, so this is how I fuck in this game. Got it. Oh, if you're trying to do a group scene, you're trying to do a gangbang, this is what it looks like. Stand up, do this, and here are the mechanics. I'm just like, oh, so one, to Sam's stunning point, it removes that shame because now you're up on your feet and you're physically trying out the mechanics. You're making eye contact with your partners. You're negotiating very quickly. Even if we pull the sexy sexiness off, which is something Bridgett deeply enjoyed about Exhume, I've actually told a few friends, I was like, I just feel like I left a kink wink in for 17 hours. It's the amount of negotiation and boundaries and
Oh my
consent,
gosh.
and let's develop a scene together and then hurt each other. I feel like I left a kink retreat for a weekend. But even down to the violence. And I know, like, Corbin and I, in another organization that we're in, if I want to backhand Corbin in character, I'm going to move up, I'm going to get my chest all up, and then I'm going to go pull out my character sheet, and then we're going to throw paper, rock, scissors, and then maybe we'll narrate, oh, how cool the slap was. Nah, this shit was, hey, I want to smack Corbin while I go up, and I go through a mechanical ritual, and then I initiate, Corbin consents, I agree, bam, and there's actual physical stunt work. Corbin may fall to the floor. Corbin may fall into a wall. Corbin may fall over a table. But we actually practiced the stunt work with fucking Pippa beforehand. So I knew at any point in time, if violence was initiated and I chose to consent in that moment, I could actually physically portray those experiences, which is why you had so many people running around that event crying or sobbing or wailing or doubled over in pain or screaming. I cannot
love it.
believe
I love
it.
it.
Laryngitis.
Also, shout out to Pippa with how she did that violence workshop, because not only did she give us all the ability to find that language together, she also made it accessible, because we had players that were using mobility aids, and Pippa
Yes!
worked with the whole
Yep.
group to say, this is how you work with somebody in this position. If you have a tie with them and you want to explore this,
Yeah.
talk to them.
Yeah.
Don't just avoid them. Do not exclude them.
Fucking
And I've seen
Pippa.
this in other LARP spaces where people are afraid to interact because they are afraid, oh no, what if I hurt this person? It's like,
Correct.
or here's the language everybody's going to use. Here's the expectation to be adults and practice our agency together.
Yeah.
And how about you trust them to tell you where their limits are? And that's something that's really special about Archetype LARP, is that accessibility isn't just making special asides for somebody. No, it's about getting somebody immersed and included in a way that they might not have otherwise been involved, and making other people realize, hey, you might have a bias because you see that mobility aid. Knock
Yeah.
it the fuck off.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
you need to trust people's yeses. And I think that so much of the workshops are really devoted to, and the check-ins and the calibrations, it's devoted to trusting people's yeses. It is saying,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I think the cane is a very visible example. If someone's using a
Yeah.
cane, you might just assume they can't or don't want to engage
Yeah.
in violent scenes. That may not be the case at all. It may be the case, and that's fine, but don't assume that for them.
Talk to them.
One of the things that I think is so important about you taking the application at face value, even if I know you, like, we have friends apply to games, and the worst thing would be to read someone's sheet and go, well, this person says they want this content, but I know this person and I don't think they want this content. I because they've never liked it before, or they've had a bad
Yeah.
experience. Like,
Yeah.
I know better than them, so I'm going to cast them this way. Oh, I have a close connection with you and you say you want this relationship, but I don't think you'd be good at that, so I'm going to make a decision for you. Stop doing that. Don't do that. Everybody unconsciously does versions of this. Stop trying to tell people that you don't trust their yes. It is so important to have space and safety to say no, but you need to be believed when you say yes.
And you also need to have that personal consciousness to be able to go, you know what? Maybe that isn't a yes for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
A big part of what happens in all of these workshops is it's talking to people on both ends, both the receiving end of, okay, I'm hearing Halden say yes, so I need to trust that Halden is saying yes. But it's also going to Halden and going, hey, bud, can you really say yes here? Can you safely, securely, and confidently say yes here? I've seen people who unfortunately have had a bad time in other spaces. So far, I haven't seen it in Archetype, but I'm not, privy to everything behind the scenes.
Right.
But I've seen it in other spaces where they said yes, but they didn't stop and ask themselves some of those important questions of how does this make me feel?
Yeah.
Or take into consideration that yes might change. It's like,
Yeah.
well, I said
Yeah.
yes when I submitted this application, so it should always be yes. No, that's not how that
No,
works.
honey, that ain't called
That's
human
not how safety
experience.
works.
And it is impossible to take away every potential risk for that to happen. But the
Facts.
workshops and the apps and the mechanics that we give people are designed to minimize that. It's still going to happen. I mean, how many times has someone, I think this is also this is universal, but it's very, very present, especially for people who were really raised with very, very feminine socializing. Like, it's this, oh, I said yes automatically without thinking about it and didn't even realize it wasn't a yes until way later.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
normal. That happens to people. And you can't prevent that entirely, but it's just about making the space as secure as humanly possible to minimize the risk
Yeah.
of that.
Yep.
Fucking brilliance. I love it. Okay, Cass, this is going to be me ignoring the audience and having a quick check-in with you guys. I told you that I was looking for this stream to go 60 to 90 minutes, which means we are going to be about 13 minutes out on the maximum of that. How do you guys feel about an additional 15-minute extension? This is an invitation. This is not a request. This is, if we want to go for an additional 20 minutes from here, we can. I'm seeing green lights.
I'm okay
Honey,
with
I
15.
could listen to your voice all day.
Oh, listen.
I need to eat at some point tonight, but yeah, no.
I need food on you, and I will sit up here and flirt with Corbin for the end of time. So, all right, baby. So, if I'm looking at 120-ish right now on a runtime, do you guys want to aim for another 20 minutes and get out of here?
Let's
sounds
shoot for
good.
that. Yeah.
Okay, let's shoot for that. Okay. Will that work? All right, beautiful. Thank you.
Thank
everyone.
you for checking in. That's very lovely of you.
Yeah.
Listen, none of y'all got paid to be here. Your time, your experience is fucking valuable. And I also know I'm at least East Coast. It's 8:00. My dogs are looking at me right now like, bitch,
It's
you gonna
LARP.
take us outside or not? So
It's LARP shit. Nobody's getting paid.
We're getting paid in quality time with each
we're
other.
getting paid in quality
Yeah.
time and celebration
fun.
on the experience. Okay, beautiful. So if I'm looking at our notes right now, I have gameplay, recalibration, afters, post-event, and then the thirst traps. I absolutely positively want to save at least 5 minutes for thirst traps. So I think this is going to be a good time for us to combine maybe the gameplay, and Bridgett just has to talk about the recalibration. I refuse to get off of this. I'll talk about the recalibration
No,
to my
by all
goddamn self
means.
if I have to.
Yes.
So let's talk just very briefly about the game experience itself. And this can take any shape that we want. But unless I'm wrong, guys, we got there at Friday. I feel like we had the workshop. Game might have started at, 7, 8 p.m.?
So workshop started at 7 p.m.
Okay.
And then with the goal to have game started by 9:30, which I think we were just like maybe 10 minutes off, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Friday at 9:30, and it went to what, like 4?
Staff went to bed at 2:30.
Okay.
And I know some people stayed up for another hour and a half role playing. So yeah, from like 9:30 with like the opening ceremonies and with the big awakening ritual to about 2:30, 3 o'clock was kind of like the main bulk of the first night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which a lot happened, but it was, you know, it's dipping the toe in the water, and people were still kind of like getting to experience that.
Yeah.
For some people who've never played the game, we actually are game off and the following morning. We want to give you time to sleep in, have breakfast, and then we also have the recalibrations in the morning, which I'll save the space unless you want to talk about it now, Bridgett.
If you get me started on recalibrations, we might be here for a minute. Let's stay on, because you don't understand what recalibrations did for my entire life and my approach to gaming. Between that and Pippa's workshop, y'all don't understand what recalibrations did to my life. I'm hyped
that means
right
the
now
world. It means the world to hear that.
Like, oh God, baby, just fuck me. So let's stay on game play for just a second. Corbin, can you hit us with any brief story from your gameplay, so people can, because that's the one thing I didn't quite understand walking into it. It was like, but what is the gameplay like? Are the storytellers stopping and doing like NPC theater, or like what is, so can you just tell us a story about like your actual gameplay experience so people can kind of immerse with you?
I'll actually lean into my first experience with Exhume, because I'm going to be real, I felt more lost with that. And my gameplay experience there was awkward because I was not expecting to be there. My nesting partner was all, hey, my friend Halden is doing this cool thing. Like, oh, okay, sure, not a problem. I'd only had one other freeform experience before that was very different.
Yeah.
So I felt super lost. But what helped me a ton was really all the prep work ahead of time to get me to this point. And once I was there, I don't know, because I was playing more of a chaos gremlin at that point in time, I just feel like people just let me loose on this poor unsuspecting game. With this run, I had more of an idea of like character ideas and goals, because there's goals that they have that you can choose from on your sheet, but there's also going to be some things that you set up for yourself.
Yep.
And for me, the gameplay was about kind of conveying some of the things that were left up to me. Case in point, I played a cis homosexual male. And for me, telling the queer story was very important to who I am as a queer person. And playing the masculine role for me was because I'm a non-binary person who is gender fluid. And I am very comfortable in a variety of gender presentations, and I really wanted to challenge myself.
Okay, and I know I told you this on site, but when you were getting ready, but the game 1 to game 2 Corbin shapeshift was bananas.
Yes.
Hello, I'm
like, holy
in real
shit.
life.
It was very impressive.
You can't really see the blur back there, but I graduated with honors in a theater space, so like there's actual.
Let me
shape.
find
what
my
you were
goddamn
fucking
surprise face, right?
Professional shapeshifter.
No, my actual degree is much more useless, but those honor cords, that's for theater. Thank you very much.
Hell yeah.
But
It's
for
incredible.
me, the actual gameplay was taking some of those personal goals. For me, it was to tell this man's story that was not explicitly on the sheet, while also honoring his actual story. Because part of the tragedy of this man is that he has lived so long for other people, he didn't really know who he was as a person. I'm like, all right, who are people who can feel that pretty hard? People in the hospitality industry, people in LGBTQIA spaces, people like myself who are on the autistic spectrum. Like, what does it look like to be somebody who has not been allowed to be themselves because they're trying to put everybody else first because they're masking? So the gameplay for me was about taking those goals and finding ways to like put them out there without hammering it home. Be more show, not tell. One of my favorite moments in getting to do that was this female vampire that you're going to see in Thirst Traps, who, my word, I'm going to try not to have too much more energy from there. Like, out of play, Corbin is very, very queer. And out of play, Corbin was just aesthetically smitten by this person. Beautiful demeanor, beautiful personality. But James Ketch is a very, very gay man who is not flamboyant. He is very well put together, straight-laced, and there was no amount of beauty that this woman could have that would make him go, well, hello there.
Yeah.
And I actually told the player this at one point. She's like, oh my God, so beautiful as to confirm homosexuality. That is the nicest thing anyone's ever told me. I was like, thank you. It was very difficult.
Thank you.
This is a friend of ours who has also been referencing this story as just like I'm touched. Like, yeah, this is really funny.
Oh my God. But yeah, like the actual gameplay itself, so this is something that a lot of people aren't going to want to hear. I even have players in my own game who might actually wrinkle their noses a little bit, but it's kind of controversial. Deal with it. A lot of the gameplay is making your own fun.
It is.
Because if you are expecting staff to spoon feed you, it's not going to happen. If you are expecting another character to spoon feed you, it's not going to happen. I had a experience in the kitchens at one point after Jesse was killed, where I was talking with Pippa and saying, hey, Pippa, Jesse was doing a lot of coordinating with me to make shit happen. I don't want to yuck in anyone's yum, but I also want to be mindful of the scheduling we have for this programming.
Yeah.
What would you like me to do? And Pippa, at one point, bless her heart, and I mean that in a genuinely kind way, not in a passive-aggressive Southern way.
Not in a Southern belle.
Yeah, bless her heart. She said, well, if you're having decision fatigue, I can step in and do some things for you. He's like, oh, honey, no. My question is, will I be stepping on someone's toes if I just go ahead and top people? Like, oh my gosh, you're so hot. It's like, okay, so go wrangle the bottoms. Yeah, go wrangle the bottoms. I went and wrangled the bottoms because that was something that this role was
not
capable of doing. But for me,
bottoms.
LARP org in a nutshell. No way, go wrangle the bottoms.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of what I loved about this role so much is that I essentially was reliving my my hospitality industry in theater days where it's like,
my God.
no, I'm taking charge. I'm taking care of people, making sure they're okay. Oh my God. I think Andrew Barron at one point said, oh, you're doing service degradation, because I was going up to people going, excuse me, sir, you are currently a tripping hazard. I'm going to need you this way. 3 inches. And I was going up to vampires and saying this shit. And because of how I pushed it, these vampires are like, oh, okay. Like, and I don't know if they were responding in play or out of play. I'm not going to ask. If they want to fess up at some point, they're more than welcome to. But I just put the full force and audacity of, I have one job, and that is hopefully to survive and to make sure that I don't give my vein a bad name. It all boiled down to, looks like Sam's camera is having a little net TV.
Yep. And that's okay. Sam, if you can still be heard, feel free to continue to chime in. We'll wait for you. As of right now, the overlay hasn't bumped, so Corbin isn't responsible for entertaining people while I try to fix it. So
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Let me figure out what's going on with this thing.
No, you're good.
So
but to really
on.
just
sorry, go ahead.
wrap up that train of thought real quick. A lot of it was making my own fun and figuring out what my fun looked like.
Yes. And it's okay to explore that in real time at the event. I will be super brief here, but if you guys are kind of looking at a slightly different capture on the experience, things that I witnessed a person that no one knew was going to get human sacrificed by being disemboweled in front of a group presentation. Wasn't expecting that. A group of players stood up and initiated their own dancing ritual that was
so
stomping
good.
and chanting and screaming and moving around in this ceremonial circle. And it was one of those experiences while beholding it. I was just like, I would pay money to see this on stage. You could feel the power of it, kind of like reverberating on the inside of your rib cage. It was very moving. It was very amazing.
Fucking Kevin.
Fucking brilliant. At one point, I was corrected by my vampire by being dragged into a basement and being forced to submit to being group fed upon, which basically they took me to a dark, creepy basement. I sat onto a tarp with an all-white dress, and like 6 people basically gang-banged me with feeding. And that is them actually physically on me, going through the feeding mechanics with me wailing and screaming and thrashing all over the floor until I was dominated into giving the keyword to say, hey, make it stop. And there's some nuance and some, obviously some things I'm not sharing with you, but to kind of give you an idea of what this looks like. I was pushed into walls. I was tripped to the ground. I have been ambushed. I cried so much at this event, and there's an amazing moment of catharsis where at one point I was sobbing about something, and I was like, this feels really good because I'm working through my goddamn grief, and it just feels really good to just kind of work through these mechanics with me moving from room to room, sobbing. So the play experience is very intense, and because the space is as well spread out as it is, it's a great place to do group scenes where you have like these major chants. You can get pulled into a corner where it's dark, where you miss people that are happening in the corners, where you might see somebody fucking, you might see somebody getting fed upon, you might see somebody getting stabbed over and over with a knife, and like it's a very physical thing that you're witnessing as you move by. So the play experience, when I say is very immersed in that level, because that workshop taught you how to do the stunt work and the fuck work, you're seeing a lot around you at any given time, which is absolutely incredible. Okay, Sam, I'm so glad your goddamn camera is back. You ready to talk about recalibrations?
Let's talk about recalibration.
All right, I'm gonna let you go so I don't cut off the people that actually designed this shit, because you don't understand what recalibrations did to my life. Talk to me about.
I'm very excited to find out.
I'm very excited. Just to give some people some kind of like So with the gameplay, the schedule, we have game off in the morning, and then game back on at noon, and then it ends sometime around like 10 p.m. So it's a good chunk of time in play, but we also want to give the space to the players to kind of like, okay, you've done your little swimming test. Yeah. Time to dive in. And that's what the recalibration is for. It really gets everybody back in the room after they've tried on the clothes, they've tried the voices, the walk, the demeanor, the kind of like the little habits that like really kind of give them their character life. And also the content. They've gotten to try out the content. And now it's time to be like, what do you want to do more of? Yes. Go for it, Bridgett.
Are you ready? I want to hear why this was such a game changer for you, because that's such an honor to hear.
Babe, I'm coming in hot, and I will try to slow my speech down. But
you've been hot the whole time.
Well, thanks, babe. Yes. I appreciate that. So, coming in hot. Just like Sam says, you've slept it off, you've tried to get your feelers out, and now the entire room is gathered together. You go back through a round and you do an introduction of your name and your character, so you can start putting eyes and getting a better understanding. So kind of that cements. And then Halden fucking announced, when we send out the post-game feedback survey forms, the number one piece of feedback we get is, I wish I had done that. How about you not put that on your feedback form on this run? Go fucking get whatever it is you want to get. And I sat back and went, okay, bet. I understand. I am not going to leave this event filling out a feedback form like, man, I wish I would have gone harder in the paint with blah, blah, blah. I'm going to commit to this thing. That's dope, right? Incredible. Nah, these hoes took it a lot further. So then you go around the entire room and you announce out loud what that thing is, and then there's a moment of pause, and then the showrunners, Halden and Sam, invites the other people in the room to agree to help you fulfill that vision. Fuck me. I had never seen anything like it. So like someone would go around the room, it's like, I really want someone to call me out on my shit about blah blah blah, and then Halden and Sam would be like, great. Everyone who's interested in helping Corbin call their character out on blah, 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 raise your hand. Some hands go up, and then you look around the room, and then they announce at the end of recalibration, you guys go into your small groups, and you go to the people that volunteer to help you tell your best story and negotiate what the fuck that looks like. And I went, I've never seen anything like this in my entire goddamn life. Every single person, all 40-some people, went around the room and articulated what is the one thing they wanted to get out of this play experience before they went home. and then they were saddled, paired, and inspired with other people that were willing to help them tell that story come true. That level of play selflessness I have never seen in a LARP or a gaming experience in my entire life. The way I want to do the way I want to do recalibrations in my goddamn tabletop games is wild. Hey guys, we're at the halfway point. What type of story do you want to see before you're off of this table? Who can help you tell that story? And let's go.
Please.
Oh no, go.
So credit where it is due. That thing that you just described, I pulled from a game designer I respect immensely. Her name is Catherine Wind, and she is a genius. I genuinely believe she's the best person working in LARP right now. I went to her game, Damon, and she did that. And she had a recalibration, and she had a moment where she said, listen, like, go around, you have to articulate what it is you want.
Yeah.
And because, like, no one can give you something you can't ask for. And then people need to volunteer. And if you volunteered, that becomes your responsibility to follow up on. It is it is incumbent on the person who volunteered to follow up. So don't just throw your hand up for any old reason. Or like, yeah, sure. You need to mean it, and you need to track it down, and you need to chase it. And it is a part of, I have come to learn it is a part of Nordic LARPing culture in Europe. Oh my God. Changed my brain chemistry, because it was just like, it took it beyond the thing that you see a lot, especially from people who are scared to ask for more or ask for what they want, which I think a lot of people in nerd spaces are nervous for. It takes it out of a, well, if someone wanted to, that would be cool, to, no, this is what I want. Who can give it to me? You? Got it. All right.
And then run with it.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah. Guys, it's really amazing.
Stunning.
Drive it like you stole it. I love it.
Drive it like you stole it. It was amazing. And then so you get that spotlight moment where the entire room agrees that your story matters. And that is just fucking huge. And then out of left field, this backhand sweep comes through where, like, you guys are like, all right, guys, everybody who wants more sexy, intimate time, raise your hands. And then you can look around the room and be like, all the people who want to fuck, them, go find them people. All these people are trying to clap cheeks. Let's go. Go find them people.
And also, look around and see the fact that you're not the only one who wants this content. You're not the only one who wants more violence. You're not the only one who wants more sex. You're not a weirdo alone in this room. Everyone, like, I'm not going to say every single person wants every single thing, because of course not. But, like, it's normal. Half the room's going to raise their hand for all these questions.
Oh my God. And it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing to see. And to Sam's point earlier, it completely pulls shame off of the table. Because you're not ashamed of saying, like, no, I would like some more fucking sexy time, when you got 20 other people that's like, we trying to clap too. Let's go. And the one thing I think that threw me off guard in a funny way is when you guys are like, who wants more violence? And the entire room raised their hands. And you lean back in your chair or your booth or the wall, and you goes like, this next 12 hours about to be funny as shit.
Yep.
And they delivered. Holy.
What a body count. God damn.
Recalibration needs to be studied. Pippa needs to be, like, literally changing the industry with all of her workshopping and her perspectives, and recalibrations need to be studied, because I walked out of that recalibration, I was like, I have never seen anything like this in gaming in my entire life. I have never been more humbled and inspired by an event than sitting in a room going, like, someone gives a damn about my story. This is
so
incredible.
Many of the things that we do really were ripped from European gaming styles, and they've been, for a really long time, a lot of these Nordic games have been held up as this unattainable thing. Oh, we couldn't possibly do that in America. That's not fucking true. Like, people can do this thing. This is not some magical higher level of gaming that no one can attain to or learn how to do or how to facilitate.
Correct.
Like, there's no reason why these mechanics, maybe things need to be adjusted to work with cultural differences, but at the end of the day, no, like, we can do these things. And
So
we're kind of discovering a lot of things that have been normal over there for a while, but we're bringing our own stuff to it, and I think that's exciting.
Yes. Yeah.
And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the intentionality and the choice of bringing that forward, because holy shit, recalibrations changed my whole life at that event. I was like, this is some dope shit. All right.
What an honor.
Oh, baby, genuinely, thank you. All right, guys, as we are closing into our probably last 10 minutes here, y'all ready to run into some thirst?
Yes.
It's gonna be a good
Let's get
time to some
thirsty.
thirst. I am going to go ahead and get my water going because, damn. So, Symphony fans, you guys know our typical thirst traps. We are doing a modified version of the thirst trap, which is going to be a performance-based thirst trap. So, I am going to throw somebody up. I'm going to set a timer that I'm going to remember to do twice, and then I'm going to completely forget. But we are just going to rapid fire some thirst. Cass, you guys ready to get after it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we are going to start with Andrew Barron that played Magnus is showing
Oh my
now.
goodness.
Commence the thirst.
Yes.
Menace.
Short king of my heart.
Voice,
I forgot how
little
tall he was at
devil
first by just,
whispering.
oh.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
He played Magnus, and Magnus tormented my character personally multiple times, and did this gadfly thing where the character was like, "Hey, you can do whatever you want. Why aren't you doing it?" And just the way that I felt cornered and terrified, and like this man is going to kill me.
I think he was one of the few vampires I was truly, truly like, oh, he could kill me, and that would be bad.
And that would be bad.
Like, because everyone else just had like this, veneer of like, very quiet disrespect of like, oh, they are beneath the vein that I serve. So no, Andrew terrified me, but was also so fantastic with his calibration efforts on top of that. I was like, I don't like the idea of just being a bully to you, and I don't like that. Can we do something else? Like, fuck yeah, we can. And he was still a menace. Like, he still did such a good job. And he had such a high degree of care and compassion. That man can bully me anytime he wants.
Anytime. I got cornered once, fleeting moment, and all he did was like flinch at me and then lick his tongue over his lips and roll around. I was like, that character's going to kill me right now. And then it was just over. But my nervous system was so fried off of the direct eye contact, a flinch, and a fang lick. That was just like, oh, daddy. Okay, here we go. That's okay. Yep. Rock and roll.
We had a negative connection with our characters, the two different type of Scandinavians that like hate each other, and of course my character was older, so I was the better vampire. But he would come up to me, and the voice he did, and like pointed, he's like, Bruna, and I'm like, I hate you so much. The voice is so good.
Okay. Thirst trap closed. That is the vibe. You guys have never been on Sympathy before. That's exactly what we do. We ready to go for the next one?
Yeah, bring it.
This is some top shelf refined thirst. We are going with Vin, who played Min, the last speaker. The thirst trap is life.
V, you genius. You.
So different from experiencing them playing my sister in another game to playing like the eldest of the eldest who could just unalive me with a sneeze. Just the range that they bring to the table. Just
refined, and I also felt like a mewling worm in their presence at all times.
I think we should feel that way in their presence normally.
Yes.
I am gonna tell you two quick stories that I think illustrate the range on this motherfucker.
Thirst, bring it.
V made 3 beautiful little ceramic jars, and used them as little decorations in their kind of the ancient slumbering setup, almost canopic jar-like. And I knew V had made them, and then he was using one. They were using one all game as a drinking vessel. Didn't know until after game. Each of the 3 were painted in a different style to represent the 3 original ancient vampires in the back lore. And the one they were drinking out of was canonically their own grave dirt that had been dissolved down, turned into clay, and she was using it as her drinking vessel. And I don't think that even came up in play. And they just casually tell me this as we're packing up, and I'm just like, you are crazy.
Wow.
And in contrast to that, like as we're all basking in that, we had a scene where their character had basically been psychically reading what my character was doing before they woke up. And goes, why are you intentionally giving yourself the vapors? What?
What?
You give yourself the vapors and are very upset when you cannot charge the vapors? Hey, did you hear me bitching about charging my vape? Same person. Same person.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Getting to throw myself at these feet as men, begging for Isidore's life. And just being like, you know what it's like to have lost your maker. I've lost my maker. He lost his maker. And I'm crying. And Min's like, oh, I hate you so much.
Oh.
And we were both sobbing. It was so good. Like, just feeding off of each other's emotions.
Oh,
That's just
delightful.
how good of a role player V is. And
They're
it's my favorite scene.
Their embodiment is
Bridgett.
insane. From the slow down gait to the posture to the chin never drop beneath the shoulders. Eye contact that will literally jump into your soul, twist it, and then like rearrange it. There were so many guys. I'm loud and I'm confrontational by nature. That's just who the fuck Bridgett is. There were so many times I would sit back and watch V walk by. I was like, I want to talk to that character, but I'm honest to God scared.
To give you a better idea of the range, our first character experiences, at one point I saw my character sister rolling around a pool table. At another point, she is hanging upside down on another piece of furniture. At another point, because apparently it was just bullshit o'clock, I just had a stack of Oreo cookies and I started stacking them on her head and leaned in with this energy of nobody's gonna believe you. Like, it was so
The range.
fucking absurd.
The range.
Like, they are
They're
insane,
incredible.
and I mean that in the best way possible. They're
Yes.
fantastic. They're like a net
Lunatic.
positive to any space they in.
Oh my God. Yeah, V, you're absolutely incredible. Guys, in case you're not aware, this was like the primary NPC of the event. And I cannot imagine an experience without having something that powerful in play. V, you were absolutely incredible. You guys ready for the next one?
Yeah, bring it.
Yeah.
I'm coming in with one of my hot ones. Somebody help me with the pronouncing of the name. Is it Ashe? Ashe? Pronounce the first name.
Ash.
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 Coming in with Ash Cave playing, what was this, Maquette? Mahet?
Mehmed.
Menmed.
Mehmed.
Oh.
Oh.
One of the
Ash.
highlight people of my
Hey,
entire
Ash.
event.
Thank you for asking for exactly what you wanted on your character sheet so we could give you that character, because you did that character such a service by the way you played them.
I regret not having many interactions. I was usually just watching them go at any point in time. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I should avoid that person or not. But then I'd get pulled
Very
into something
dangerous.
else entirely.
Super
And
dangerous.
it was the same, because I didn't have a lot of interactions with Mehmed as my character either, but just my favorite scene was when Isidore came over and slapped Kaisho. And Mehmed just stood up, and Ash is short. There were a lot of short people at this game, but in the middle of this room with all of these vampires, hundreds of years older, and being like,
Shut
I
it
will
down.
throw myself against you
As to a
until I am
wall.
as to a
As to a
wall.
wall.
If you ever do that again. And I was just like, oh.
Oh.
Like,
Oh.
What I can say, though, is
Oh.
they were another person that I didn't look at and go, short, because you might not be able to tell in this stream, but I am almost 6 feet tall. It is very hard for me to actually feel small, but every person in this game who was shorter than myself, I forgot that because of the sheer presence. Even if they were just
Yeah.
walking
Oh.
by,
Yeah.
it was fantastic.
yes.
Yeah.
Ash was chef's kiss and really
Oh.
brought Mehmed to just this very rich story. And I'm so glad that she got to come out and play.
Ash's performance changed the entire trajectory that I had pre-planned for this character and I had committed to during the game. Literally, their portrayal and our scenes were so strong. I was like, I can tell a better story riffing off of the power of this player than I could have written or developed or imagined for myself. It's the rendering to that was one of the best decisions that I made in character for Exhume, because I am so satisfied with the way my story ended on the sheer presence of Ash. It was absolutely incredible. You, babe. And also, thank you for being a kind fucking human being to me off the table, too. You were an absolute delight out of character and in character. Thank you for just everything you did to actually kind of shelter me in place and make me feel comfortable and safe as a new player in this environment. You are honestly brilliant. All right.
Yeah.
Trap closed. Shall we continue?
Indeed.
Yes.
All right.
What else we got?
Deanna coming in with Halden Ingwersen. Trap is live.
Goodness.
What a
my
sleuth.
God.
What a little sleuth. Like,
So
actually doing gumshoe shit, playing that fucking reporter.
Everyone's business. I mean, I was every room. I would turn and there's Helen being like, "I'm gonna learn everything."
I am fairly
you.
certain that Helen wakes up every single night just fucking mad at the bullshit that her vein is pulling, and I love it. Oh my god,
Carson is the
such a
weakest.
force
Is
of
the
energy without ever having to say much.
Yes.
Carson
Good.
is the youngest vampire. Carson is the weakest vampire. And is an angry little bulldog. And son of a bitch, the way that was played this run was so palpable. It was beautiful.
Oh, absolutely stunning. And the emotional beats of Carson in between the running from place to place, gathering data, getting documentation, doing interviews. I had so many small, high impact emotional scenes that felt like they just blew in like a breeze and then just blew right back out. And it was all with this exact same character again and again and again. Absolutely brilliant performance.
Yes, yes.
Oh.
I'm looking at the chat and I'm seeing Uncle Magnus, Helen sprinting at Magnus because Runa was there too. So the youngest vampire going to the two oldest vampires with the UV light, chucking it at us. Take it, and we're like, what the fuck?
Why do you have that?
Just like the face of terror on her, like she was just like, please God, someone else have this, and it was so fucking good.
Oh,
Character,
love
fantastic
it,
player,
love it.
so powerful.
Oh, strong. Oh, strong. Okay, amazing. Trap closed. We ready for the next one?
Yes.
Yes.
Coming in hot, we've got Nick Francia, who played Lionel.
Oh my
Nick.
God, Nick!
Oh, Nick.
Poor Nick. I can't say enough nice things about Nick. If you want to be absolutely terrorized and menaced and just treated like absolute shit and then get the best, warmest hug after the fact, you go roleplay with Nick. I have never felt safer with an unsafe character. Just so good. No, at one point in time, this motherfucker is coming down the stairs while I'm supposed to be punishing Bridget's character. And you know what? I am still dedicated to duty. I put myself between Bridget and this fucking monster. I thought I was going to die. And after the experience, because he got one of my memories and could see, like, you know, some of my characters', you know, deepest thoughts and wishes.
Yes.
He leaned in after, you know, picking up the fact that the one thing I wanted was something that truly belonged to me. And he leaned in and then finally says, nothing you say or do will ever matter, and you will never be anything more than you are in this moment.
Oh my God.
And this, Bridget, is
Nick,
why you got the domino effect that happened after the fact. And again, Nick is such a good and safe human being, like off screen. Like, oh my gosh, I would not be able to have a moment like that with somebody that I did not trust fully in spaces like that.
Nick has played characters who were both like monsters. Lionel is a monster of a character. Lionel is dangerous, is violent, is has types of racism that don't even exist anymore. Like it's such a tricky role to play, and Nick carried that beautifully. And I've also seen Nick play the most shy, uncertain, anxious, nervous little baby characters and talk about range, because he can do both, and they do an amazing job when they do.
Oh yeah. I got to so Nick is one of the people who got to do the first run and the second run. It got me real good in the first run playing Robin and I was playing Jesse. And then he went to 1996 and then I got to get him back by making him cry by being on the phone team and pretending to be his mom. So,
Yeah. Yeah, he did such a good Eric in that game.
When I say that, like, Nick has such a great way of just having these really kind of like pivotal story-changing moments with characters in the close connections. Like, I've seen it across the board with every single character that they've played, and I'm so
Nick gives pivots. That is such
pivots.
So caring and so compassionate. He has some height on me. And is always very mindful about the spaces he's in, because he never wants somebody who takes up less space than him to feel smaller than him. And he goes above and beyond to make sure that people don't feel small in a way that they don't consent to. And even then, if they opt into it like I did with him, he goes out of his way to make sure that they are uplifted after the fact,
Yes,
especially
hard
out of
agree.
play.
Yeah.
Such a safe person. I have so much trust and care for him.
Hard agreed.
Yeah.
And then during our decompressions or our afters, at some point I think I heard Nick say that they've only been role playing for 4 years or only been LARPing for 4 years. And I remember going like, you are the next level in generation in gaming, and I hope you
Yep.
always stay here, because everything that you're bringing from a safety and a support standpoint out of character. This character and I had a direct tether where we decided it was like a deep sexual attraction that just ultimately ended with me wanting this character to kill me. And the way that we did the
Oh,
back
Priya.
and forth was incredible from a performance standpoint, but the check-ins and the way that we negotiated off the scenes, it's just like Nick comes off as a professional, and it's just an absolute delight to actually be able to experience him. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, Nick is the reason why we do this. Like, full stop. Like, that generation of player who
Yes.
is putting that safety and care before like anything else. Like, people like Nick are why I do this.
Or why you do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yep.
Hard agree with zero notes. With zero notes.
All day.
Protect Nick at all costs. God damn.
Yeah.
Woo!
Listen, I would get into a fist fight in a Denny's parking lot for Nick.
Damn, a Denny's
Yeah.
parking lot? That's some good shit. Nick,
Yeah.
pivot. What was the phrase you used, Halden? Pivot, changer, pivot?
Yeah, he gives people pivots. He's a
Gives
pivot point.
pivots. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, coming in with our next thirst trap as we're winding down. This is going to be Lynn Hilton that is coming in with oh my God. What was this?
Hey.
Francesca. Okay, so
Hey, Lynn,
Yeah.
Lynn, you slut.
you whore.
You
You okay?
delicious
So
thing.
for the folks at home, Lynn started out as getting pulled in because we had a swing drop, and then the day of noon o'clock, a player was like had flight issues.
Yep.
And I was like, I called Lynn, and Lynn was like the last swing, and I was like, Lynn, you're not gonna. She's like, are you fucking kidding me? She was in the middle of packing, and she's like, well, I was gonna pack this dress, and I'm like, keep it, bring it, don't wear anything underneath it, don't worry.
Don't worry, we got it. We're ready for it.
And she fucking nailed playing Francesca.
You'd never have known she wasn't her the whole time.
I gave her highlights over the phone. She's like, okay, yeah,
Okay.
I can roll with this.
Bet.
Immediately wore the costume, was the character, no problem.
Princess baby girl of psychopathia.
She was so gross in the best ways possible.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
she would ask somebody for, like, oh, I'm so hungry. And they'd, bring her a thrall who is clearly uncomfortable. Like, I want catch. And I have no idea this is going on in the background. Like, out of play, I'm aware that we have had this conversation, but I had no idea to what degree she was bringing it at. And so when it finally happened, the recoil and the disgust, despite the absolute amazing beauty of this person in real life, like the recoil and disgust was very sincere, because it's like, really? This? I have to. Oh no.
Our run one, Francesca, was so incredible that I didn't know how anyone else could play that character, and Lynn just knocked it out of the park. And one of the best things about Nordics with these character sheets is two people can get the same sheet and come to different conclusions and tell different stories.
Yeah.
And Lynn told a different story than Amber from Run One, but it was it was nonetheless a beautiful, powerful, interesting story, and I loved watching it. It's such a pleasure.
Yeah.
So intricate, so rich. Lynn, you literally made me feel the entire time like a porcelain doll baby that was just sitting in your glass chest that you might reach your hand in and crush at any time, or you might like brush and braid my hair forever. And I was so intoxicated by your performance, and I was great to go either way.
This woman is a menace to society in the best ways possible, and just A+ performance. Just
Absolutely.
fantastic.
Stunning. All right, guys, I believe this is our final thirst trap. This is Joshua Webster coming in.
Oh, Josh, you did so good, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
I was
God.
so happy with his performance, and it was so funny for me at points because I felt like, okay, this guy is a rock. He is stabilizing us.
Yeah.
Like, I would see him as this very nervous human character. Like, okay, if I'm going to die, that's going to be the man that kills me. And
It'll
I'm
be him.
probably going to be, deserving of that death.
Yeah.
So as long as I see him, and I'm doing my best, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
And then other people, apparently, that is the opposite. They felt so unsafe with this man in the room. And it's like, that just shows like the differences and priorities in the faces he would show people. And he had no problems barking orders at Catch at any point in time. Just really solid dynamic. And like, he punched me in the face with feelings at one point, saying, "Yeah, I felt really grounded with you being there." I'm like, "Oh, bud." What?
At a game where feeding can be so sexy and so sexually charged, he did a feeding on me that felt so utilitarian and dismissive in the face of all of these people really leaning into it. And Jesse being a character who is into that and wants people to be all over it like that. No, just like, I'm hungry, arm.
Yeah.
Just this perfunctory thing, and it was such an incredible contrast. And I know there were sexier feeding scenes that he did with other people, but the way that played with me, I loved it. I loved the choice. It was like, oh, okay. I'm not even a meal. I'm like a bag of chips.
Oh yeah,
Fuck.
yeah. A stale bag too. It was like, I just needed calories.
It's so good. It's so good. Loved it.
He was a very lovely presence, and like just with poor guy trying to like kind of keep everything together, but also have like this like very kind of just like, okay, nothing's gonna wrong, but then seeing him do the execution.
That execution.
Oh my God! It was so good. There were tricks at play. There was emotion. There was screaming. Oh my God!
You could see him trying to like keep it together, like in character, like trying, like, oh my God, like I'm actually having to do this to someone of my own vein, and trying to keep it very like, but like just kind of the very soft moments of like putting her leg down and like kind of, it was beautiful.
Or carrying the body through the lobby.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
just
so good.
Also, I want to give a call out to the player in general, because he was supposed to be James Catch in this run, but and he's never told me what up, and that's his business. But for his own personal reasons, he could not do the role. And then when this role came up, he jumped into that, and then I was hit up to portray James Catch. And he was so solid about talking to me about, well, here's some things that we had talked about, but I really want you to make this your own thing. Mm-hmm. So I did what I could to maintain some of that energy that he'd had before, because like they were fantastic notes. But real talk, I could not imagine him playing anything else. He was a fantastic player, and he was a very safe person to interact with. Yeah,
because I mean, because we saw him like on the back end before game, really getting into Catch, and then kind of switching over to Johan, and I was like, there was no other character for you to play. He did such a beautiful job. Yeah,
landing stuck on all of them.
Yep. And also, let it be a message to folks listening at home that waitlists are real. Character drops happen. Character switches happen. These things are normal parts of LARP. Do not ever think a waitlist is, oh, well, fuck me, I got rejected, I'll never get into this game. Waitlists are so real.
Stay ready. Stay ready.
I will say, I have recently applied for a game that actually gave extended parameters on their waitlist, where it's like, hey, if you're waitlisted and we need to draw from the lottery, how far out can we call on you? And there's like, 8 months, 6 months, 3 months,
the
like
day
month of. And I'm gonna be real, I could not do that for every game, because part of it's like pricing tiers and things like that.
Time off work.
For Archetype LARP, as soon as I know what your schedule is, I'm going to go ahead and offer that time. And if I hear the week of, it's like, oh yeah, cool, I'll just make sure that I have a way to get up there. Yeah. Like that's the level of hell yes I have for Archetype LARP. If you have an opportunity to apply, do it.
Do it. And actually, Corbin, that is a great time to bring us into our closer. Sam and Halden, will you please talk us through, is it Things Like Us?
This is all Halden.
It looks so good.
And Sean Metzler.
The flyer is showing, and I have a bot where people can apply for it. Talk us through it in closing.
Splendid. Yes. Things Like Us is Archetype's next LARP that we're running. This will be the first non-playtest, like full boots on the ground run. It is a game about cannibalism. It is a game about being different and being something that feels monstrous. And how do you feel about that? How do you react to that? How do you go through the world with carrying the burden of feeling like a monster in some way? And it's gross. It's gooey. It's very visceral. It's very physical. There is a actual eating each other mechanic. It is fully vegetarian and vegan, by the way. Like the everything's very. We won't make you eat meat. Just throwing that out there. But yeah, it's gross, and I love it. It is my freaky little project with Sean Metzler, who's my co-runner, who played Oleg. If you were at this last Exhume, and yeah, it's really great. So applications window closes on Wednesday night. So please get your app in. Come be a weirdo with us.
Yes,
and a lot of things like under production. So if you want to stay up to date, follow our Facebook page or Instagram, because there's a lot of stuff we're working on the back end.
We've got some wild projects coming up that we're really excited about.
And the vibes are immaculate. Like, you're going to have a good time.
Yes. If you can't tell from the sheer enthusiasm on this call, the celebration and the gratitude, they put on great events, guys. Cannot recommend them enough. Okay, we are at time. I think I actually held y'all an additional 5 minutes. My apologies to Halden's stomach and to my dogs who have all gathered right here and are staring at me. We're going to do the fastest round table. We're going to go, let's do Corbin, Halden, Sam with your outros and just who you are and if you want to be found, how people can connect with you.
Okay. I am Corbin, they, them, theirs. If you want to hunt me down, bet. Let's go. You can find access to me at www.confluxlarp.com. That way you can find our Discords and you can find our socials. And if you find me there, then that is opening up the door to more weird, and we'll connect where we connect.
Amazing. Corbin, I'll be in a recording with your ass here soon because you know I'm obsessed with you. It just is what it is. Halden, hit us, baby. Tell us who you are and where people can connect with you if that's something that you're interested in.
I am Halden Ingwersen, she, her, hers, and you can find me via Archetype Larps accounts. That is Archetype Larps with an S.com. And we also have an Instagram and a Facebook presence under the same name. Please find us. Please subscribe to the newsletter if you would like to stay up to date on our upcoming games.
And Sam, you damn delight, close us out, baby.
I'm Sam, they, them. You can also find me on Archetype Larps. I do manage the chat box and the email from time to time. But you can also, my personal Instagram, Expert Quality Lion, where sometimes I post like behind the scenes stuff and costuming and some other projects that I'm working on. So yeah.
Brilliant. Halden, Sam, from all the way from Ohio to wherever it is that you are, thank you for spending time on my platform. Thank you for the trust that you guys put in each other and yourselves to launch a LARP like this. Because as a creator, I know that shit isn't easy. And I know there's a lot of hurdles, from financial hurdles to social hurdles to life hurdles to imposter syndrome. There's so many barriers that come in between really magnificent events and the conception of, hey, wouldn't it be cool if? Thank you guys for following that all the way through. If you ever have a doubt about who you are or what the fuck you provide, feel free to go back and look at the chat here. Feel free to go look at your Discord, or feel free to go rewatch this video, because what you guys have created is honestly something truly remarkable. And Corbin, thank you for fucking everything. The amount of time I spend in your goddamn DMs talking life, philosophy, LARP, boundaries, or consent is genuinely something of high value to me, and I genuinely appreciate it. And also, I will run across oceans to role play with your ass. I really will. I'll find a way. I'll find a way. Symphony, thank you so much for joining us. To that entire community over from Archetype Larps, thank you guys so much for coming over. Thank you for engaging with the thirst traps. Thank you for engaging with the chat. We are out of here, so Halden can go eat, and I can go let my dogs out, and it is going to be a wonderful thing. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other, and we will see you guys on the next stream. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
This is going to be that awkward part where I try to figure out how to end the goddamn stream. Hold on. Yeah, we semi-did it. All right, let's do...
Oh, my gosh.
Yes. And
that was fun.
I'm sweaty.
How you guys feel?
Amazing. That